Hello everyone. My name is Dr. P. Balaraju, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, SRR Gout Arts and Science College, Karimnagar. Right, today we are going to discuss about meiosis, reductional division. So, cell division is two types, direct division and indirect division. Direct division, we can simply say that it is a binary fusion. We can see this type of division in prokaryotic organisms like bacteria and protozoans also. So, the second one is indirect division. That means indirect division is again two types, mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis occurs in somatic cells, okay? So it is known as homotypic division, right? And it is what we can say that it is a vegetative division, right? So which can give two daughter cells, each with the chromosome number equal to the parent cell, mother cell. But whereas meiosis, it is a directional division, so which we can observe this division mainly in sexually reproducing organisms, in all sexually reproducing organisms, okay, especially in higher organisms, that is plants and animals, right? Especially it will occur in megaspore mother cell, okay, in ovule, megaspore mother cell in ovule, which can result megaspores, haploid megaspores. So this process is known as megasporogenesis, which occurs in ovule, right? So which can result haploid female gamete, right? Which can result haploid female gamete, right? And in other cells, that is microspore mother cell or pollen mother cell, okay? So by this division, which can produce four haploid microspores or pollen grains in anthers, right? So this is known as microsporogenesis. So which can result haploid pollen grains or haploid male gametes, right? So here the production of haploid male and female gametes are very important in sexually reproducing organisms, okay? And later on these male and female gametes unite to produce zygote. So this fertilization can restore the diploid stage of the organisms, right? I think you all aware that uh, developed means plants and animals can have two stages, diploid stage and haploid stage. In plants, we can say that sporophytic stage and gametophytic stage. So, sporophytic stage is a dominating phase in plant life. So, the diploid stage, the diploid stage is known as sporophytic stage. So, in diploid stage, by which undergoes reductional division during the production of gametes, so which can undergo meiosis to produce gametophytic stage. So without meiosis, we cannot produce gametophytic stage, we cannot produce gametes, right? So after gametes can unite, they can fuse by the process of fertilization, zygote can form. So this is the restoration of diploid stage, right? So in these organisms, animals and plants, right, the diploid and haploid stages will come one after another. This is known as alternation of generation, right? So in sexually reproducing organisms. So here during meiosis, the haploid cells, that means that the gametes can produce, you know, and during the meiosis, some genetic recombination will occur. That is why by random fusion of male and female gametes, we may expect new recombinations in the next generation. So that is why the meiosis, occurrence of meiosis, very significant, very important in the sexually reproducing organisms. Okay, maybe in plants or in animals. It is very, very important in sexually reproducing organisms. Okay, so what is meant by meiosis? So meiosis means during the meiosis, the megaspore mother cell or microspore mother cell which undergoes meiosis, which can produce haploid number of chromosomes in gametes, which can produce gametes which have haploid number of chromosomes, whereas in mother cells diploid number of chromosomes are there. So here chiefly what is happening here? The chromosome number will be off. Okay, so this is very, very important phenomena which can produce the gametophytic stage, which is represented by male and female gametes. Okay, so that is why it is very, very important, right? So here in meiosis, two nuclear divisions. In meiosis, the nucleus can divide two times simultaneously. Okay, one after other, right? And whereas chromosomes can divide only once, right? So the nuclear can divide it twice. That is why meiosis is two types. Cell division 1, nuclear division 1, that is meiosis 1, nuclear division 2, that is meiosis 2. So here nuclear can divide two times, that is why meiosis again divided into two types, that is meiosis 1, meiosis 2. In these stages, meiosis 1 is considered as real heterotypic division. Actual reduction division is meiosis 1. Okay, it is known as heterotypic division. The chromosomes number will be off in the first meiotic division. The second meiotic division is known as homotypic division, which can equal to the mitosis. So here there is no change in the chromosome number in meiosis 2, but whereas during the meiosis 1, the chromosomes number will be off. Okay, so that is a main criteria in a main difference in meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. And meiosis 1 is again divided into prophase 1, prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1. Meiosis 2 again divided into same four phases. They are prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, telophase 2, then after cytokinesis. Okay, yeah, let us see. Right, these are the phases, prophase in meiosis 1, prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1. Then after, okay, at the end of the telophase 1, the first nuclear division is completed. So two nuclei, these two nuclei can undergo again one more nuclear division. So that's why this is known as meiosis 2, so which is subdivided into four phases. They are again prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, telophase 2. At the end of telophase, second nuclear division also completed, by which four haploid nuclei will form here. Okay, so and after cytokinesis, four haploid cells will be formed here. Okay, so this is the overall overview, right, on meiosis. Yeah, let's come to the meiosis 1. Okay, in meiosis, during meiosis 1, compared to all phases, prophase 1 is most important and long phase it is. So there are some important changes will happen in prophase 1. So it is a longer phase. For sake of our understanding, during their changes, depending upon their changes, we again divided prophase 1 into 5 sub phases, So this is meiosis 2, okay, and I will show you. Right. The prophase 1, the prophase 1 is divided into subphases: leptotin, zygotin, pactin, diplotin, diakinesis. Okay, these are the five subphases are together in prophase 1 we can see. Okay, so here, yeah, let's come to their characteristic features. Leptotin. Leptotin, nothing but the word meaning denotes that leptotin nothing but thin thread. Okay, the chromosomes are very thin and long. Okay, they can appear as a chromonumata, right? They can distribute over all the nucleus. Okay, like this, right? They can appear as a chromatin, and during this leptotin, the nuclear also appears very clearly and round. Okay, and moreover, the chromosomes, the thin, long, thread-like structures chromosomes in some organisms, in some cells, sometimes their terminals can attach at one point of nuclear membrane. So they can appear like a flower bouquet. So it is also known as bouquet stage. Okay, bouquet stage. Leptotin also known as bouquet stage. Not in all species, all organisms. In some cells, some organisms. Okay, the flower bouquet stage can be observed. Okay, which can be observed in some species, right? And more, during leptotin, the nuclear membrane is intact, and nucleolus also intact, right? So which can attaches to the nuclear or nucleolus organizer chromosome, right? In microscope, this nucleolus can appear as a knot. Okay, so this is also known as synergetic knot. Okay, due to its appearance like a knot, it is also known as, this stage is also known as synergetic knot stage. Okay, so leptotin, by end of leptotin, some condensation will also occur, right, along thread-like chromatin, what we can say, the chromatin threads, they can start condensing. Okay, yeah, let's come to the zygotin stage. The characteristic feature of zygote is nothing but pairing of homologous chromosomes. Okay, pairing of homologous chromosome. Zygote meaning that yoked thread. Okay, so little bit dense yoked thread. Okay, and the most important thing is in in a cell, okay, there are parental and maternal chromosomes. So these chromosomes, according to their morphology and their genetic composition, is same, right? So as per their morphology, as per their genetic composition, so one maternal and one paternal chromosomes come together and pair up. So this is known as synapsis. During the zygote stage, the chromosomes present in cell, the homologous chromosomes, that means which chromosomes are same in morphology, same in genetic composition, they come together and pair up. Okay, this process is known as synapsis. So the pairing of chromosomes is very important in zygote stage. Okay, so these two chromosomes are known as homologous chromosomes. So this pairing is known as synapsis. So these two homologous chromosomes can be tied up, can be held together by synaptonemal complex. So which is a proteinaceous structure, right? So which can pair up, which can tie up the two homologous chromosomes top to bottom. Okay, so here the pairing is also in some cases it is pro-terminal. That means start at one end and continues to the other end like a zip, you know. And the second is procentric. The pairing start at centromere and continues either side of the centromere. The third one is random or intermediate type. The initiation of pairing starts at many positions. Finally, pairing completed. This is known as random or intermediate type of pairing. Okay. So here the pairing, the homologous chromosomes can be held together by a proteinaceous structure complex. It is known as synaptonemal complex. Okay, so here the pairing of chromosomes occur in zygote. So this pair of chromosomes are known as bivalent chromosomes. Bivalent chromosomes, and further the chromosomes means undergo more condensation to appear very clearly. The next stage is packaging stage. Okay, the next one is packaging stage. So during this packaging stage, right, the two homologous chromosomes, right, two centromeres. These two homologous chromosomes are doubled their DNA quantity in S phase. So that is why every homologous chromosome carries double DNA molecules, two DNA molecules. So according to that, now in packaging stage, every homologous chromosome split into two chromatids. Okay, these two are called as sister chromatids of one homologous chromosome. Each and every homologous chromosome split into two chromatids. So these two chromatids can unite, okay, they can join at a centromere, right? So here out of two homologous chromosomes, total four chromatids. So this is known as tetravalent stage because of appearance of four chromatids of two homologous chromosomes. Two homologous chromosomes because only two centromeres are present, right? So here two sister chromatids, you know, and uh, two sister chromatids, and here in this packaging stage, the important is that occurrence of crossing over in between two non-sister chromosomes. Neighboring adjacent non-sister chromatids undergo exchange of genetic material. Okay, this is known as crossing over. The main important significant means event occurs in packaging stage, that is crossing over. That means exchange of genetic material in between non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes. So this is very important phenomena in sexual reproduction, which makes a lot of difference in the haploid gametes, which will be produced at the end of meiosis. Here the genetic composition will be changed according to the crossing over. Crossing over nothing but they can exchange their chromatid segments. So here what will happen? The recombination will occur here. The recombination will occur here. You know, some new genetic combination arises here. So this will leads to the differences in the progeny. So this can means promote the what we can say that evolution, you know, which can leads to the evolution, which can leads to the formation of new sort of characters in progeny, you know, new combination of genes, right, which can leads to the ultimately evolution of new species. Okay, so here packaging is very important in this stage, exchange of genetic material. So this is known as crossing over occurs. So where crossing over occurs, there some a cross like structure we may see, that is known as chiasmata. Okay, yeah, let's come to the diplotin stage. So in diplotin stage, the chiasmata will moves terminal to the end of the chromosomes. Okay, so this is known as terminalization. The chiasmata form in different positions, in different numbers, you know. So where they can form, the chiasmata can move to the end of the chromosomes. Okay, chiasmata, it is very clearly visible in diplotin stage. They can tend to move to the terminal of chromosomes. So that is why this is known as terminalization. You know, the chiasmata, it is a site of crossing over. You know, it is evidence of crossing over. So this chiasmata, this cross-like symbols, you know, this cross-like a structure can move to the end of the chromosomes. So this is known as terminalization. Why it happens? In this stage, two homologous chromosomes can repulse each other. They can tend to move some apart from each other. That is why here the terminalization will occur. Okay, and moreover, the chromosomes will condense further and furthermore. They can appear very clearly like a thread. You know, diplotin means two threads, double threads, because two homologous chromosomes move apart from each other. They can clearly appear like a two threads. You know, and the last one is diakinesis, right? So here in during diakinesis, of course, that after terminalization, the chiasmata may be connect to the two homologous chromosomes for some time, you know, and moreover here the chromosomes undergo more and more condensation. Okay, so some of the chromosomes may free, right, after terminalization they can separate, you know. So that's why the chromosomes can spread all over the nucleus, right? And most importantly, disappearance of nucleolus occurs. Disappearance of nuclear envelope also starts here, and condensation, more and more condensation occurs in this stage, right? And chromosomes also spread all over the cytoplasm, right? You see here the nuclear envelope is starting fragmenting, fragmentation starting here. Just you can observe in the picture, nuclear envelope starting disappearance, starting fragmentation. So these are the comes under prophase 1. So after prophase, what will happen? The chromosomes condense more and more, right? They can spread all over the cytoplasm. The chromosomes are appear very clearly, right? And homologous chromosomes, right? They can uh, change their some genetic material, so thus they have new genetic combinations, right? So this is prophase 1, right? And let's come to the metaphase 1, right? Right, right. Metaphase 1, yeah. The first cell is in interphase. Second diagram representing the prophase 1, yeah, it is divided into 5 subphases we have seen just now. And the third diagram representing the metaphase, so in metaphase, what will happen? The most important change is that spindle apparatus, formation of spindle apparatus. All the, after disappearance of nuclear envelope, all the chromosomes can distribute all over the cytoplasm. So in metaphase, the spindle formation, spindle apparatus formation will occur. So here, during this, the microtubules, the spindle filaments can attach to the chromosomes at kinetochore, at centromere of kinetochore, and these spindle filaments, microtubules can arrange the all chromosomes in the center of the cell. Okay, so this is equatorial plate, so the center position, all the chromosomes can be brought into central region, means central alignment, here just important thing is that chromosomes can be arranged in pairs, the homologous pair, not single chromosomes. The homologous pairs can be arranged in the center of the cell. Okay, as pairs they can be arranged here. So this is this is second most important thing. All the chromosomes randomly they can arrange at central region, equatorial region of the metaphase cell. So every at every in every bivalent, so either of the bivalent may be they can randomly arranged here. ఓకే, సో మనకు ఈ హోమోలోగస్ క్రోమోజోమ్స్ లోపల ఏ క్రోమోజోమ్ ఎటైనా ఉండొచ్చు అనమాట, రైట్? సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏ బై ఛాన్స్, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ ర్యాండమ్ అరేంజ్మెంట్, right? So every pair of homologous chromosomes, one is from parent, one is from father, and another one is from mother. So one is maternal and another one is paternal. So during the alignment, during their arrangement, okay, సో మెటర్నల్ పెటర్నల్ క్రోమోజోమ్స్ అన్నీ ఒకే వైపు ఉండాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. there is a random distribution, there is a random arrangement of homologous chromosomes in the metaphase equatorial region. So this also results a random genetic recombination. So this is also known as assortment of genes. Okay, independent assortment of genes. This can results in the independent assortment of genes. Okay, so here out of two bivalent chromosomes, out of two homologous chromosomes, okay, they can arrange randomly. సో నా పాయింట్ మీకు అర్థమైంది అనుకుంటా. మెటర్నల్ అన్నీ ఒకే వైపు ఉండాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, పెటర్నల్ క్రోమోజోమ్స్ అన్నీ ఒకే వైపు ఉండాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. దే కెన్ బి, దెర్ ఇస్ ఎ మచ్ డిఫరెన్స్, మచ్ వేరియేషన్. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ ర్యాండమ్ అరేంజ్మెంట్, సో విచ్ కెన్ ఆల్సో రిజల్ట్ ఇన్ టు new genetic recombination in the gametes. This can also leads, this can also improves, okay, genetic recombinability, which can also help in the what we say that evolution. So this is also important thing, the arrangement of randomly arrangement of homologous chromosomes in metaphase 1, right? So by spindle apparatus, all the chromosomes can be brought into the center portion of central line of the metaphase cell, right? So chromosomes, remember, chromosomes can align in pairs, not single. Okay, so during the anaphase 1, right, here here what will happen here, out of two homologous chromosomes, right, one set of homologous chromosomes can be separated towards one pole, so the other homologous chromosomes can be separated other towards, they can be drawn towards other pole, opposite pole. So here what will happening, out of total chromosomes, half of the chromosomes can be drawn, can be brought to the other pole, and the other set of the homologous chromosomes, half of the chromosomes can be drawn, can be withdrawn to the opposite pole. So that is why in this stage, anaphase 1, the chromosomes number will be off. Half of the chromosomes moving to one pole, half of the chromosomes moving to another pole. That is why this can lead to the, this can form the haploid nuclei, haploid gametes. That is why in meiosis 1 is heterotypic division. In this division, the chromosomes number will be off, especially during the chromosome separation that occurs in anaphase 1. Okay. And telophase 1, what will happen in telophase 1? What will happen in telophase 1? In telophase 1, right, the two sets of chromosomes, the separated sets of chromosomes can be reorganized into haploid nuclei. In telophase 1, they can be organized into two nuclei. Just you see here, right? So this is anaphase 1, separation of chromosomes. This is telophase 1, right? So here each nuclei with half of the chromosomes means haploid number of chromosomes, right? So here in telophase 1, what will happen? Two haploid nuclei will form here, right? Here appearance of nuclear division, appearance of nucleolus, right? Sometimes chromosomes will be decondensed, they become like thin thread like structures, as in case of first prophase 1, they can become thin, right? So they can decondense in sometimes. Okay, sometimes what will happen, after telophase 1, there may be a cytokinesis. So these two nuclei sometimes undergo cytokinesis. they can result into two haploid cells. These two cells may undergo meiosis too. Sometimes within one cell there is a two haploid nuclei. These two nuclei may undergo simultaneous second meiosis too. Okay, so either of the type of divisions we can see in most organisms. So in mostly two haploid nuclei in one cell, they can take meiosis 2 division soon after completion of meiosis 1 division. Okay, so that is this one. So meiosis 2 also again prophase to divided into prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, telophase 2. Okay, this is almost all equal to the mitosis. So here every haploid nuclei can condense, and the chromosomes also appear very clearly. In metaphase 2 they can be arranged at the center of the metaphase cell, but here you see here in center only one chromosome will arrange, not in pairs. Okay, they are single chromosomes, right? So during anaphase 2 every single chromosome split into two chromatids. Okay, so till now two chromatids attached at the centromere. Now in anaphase 2 the centromere splits to produce two individual daughter chromosomes. Okay, the chromatids can be separated here. The chromosome can divide here, but in anaphase 1 centromere is not divided. Chromosome splitting not occurred. There, out of two homologous chromosomes, one set goes to one pole, another set goes to opposite pole. Okay, there only out of two homologous chromosomes, total chromosomes can be separated. But in anaphase 2, each and every chromosome splits into two parts. Here the splitting of centromere occurs. So that's why the chromatids will be separated. They can be treated as a individual daughter chromosomes, right? In telophase 2, what will happen? 4 haploid nuclei with the haploid number of chromosomes will be formed here, right? Simultaneously cytokinesis occurs, right, which can produce 4 haploid meiospores are male or female gametes. Okay, so this is overall meiosis.